and extremely innovative owner of DreamWorks Toy Factory, James Faust was a family man through and through. Faust had a caring wife, Augustine, and two twin sons. The twins, Nathaniel and Alexander, may have been the same age, but that was just about the only similarity the two shared, as they were very much opposite in personality. While most twins were connected at the hip and mirror images, Nathaniel, the slightly older and introverted brother, kept to himself, while the younger and extremely personable Alexander commanded the attention of everyone he met. Alexander always had to be center stage. The success of DreamWorks was paramount, as it proved to be a great source of jobs for the community, employing over 300 on staff. Jobs ranged from security guards, design team, inline workers, and drivers. The Faust boys spent their entire youth in the shadow of their father, as he would teach them the ins and outs of the family toy-making business. From designing the toys on paper to their final manufacturing, packing, and shipping, the Faust twins learned it all. When it came to inventing new toys, the work of Nathaniel and Alexander reflected their personalities. Nathaniel would create extremely odd, yet very interesting toys, while Alexander's concepts were mainstream and very much captivating. Augustine and James both died in an accident while on vacation, but prior to their passing, a will had been drawn up ensuring the family business would be passed down to their sons. The will saw that Alexander was given a greater amount of money and ownership of the company than his brother. This came as a shock to both boys, but especially Nathaniel, who assumed he would be the recipient of a greater share, being that he was the eldest of the two. DreamWorks continued to flourish for only a few more years under the Faust brothers. Alexander's superb business skills and creative genius lent themselves to much of the factory's success, but simply weren't enough to see the factory through some hard times. Throughout the years, Nathaniel became more and more withdrawn and eventually became a total recluse, spending the majority of his time in the boiler room of the factory that had now fallen into major disrepair. A strange incident at the factory led to its closure. To this day, news reports blame the factory's closure on the failing economy and lackluster products that were once churned out of the factory. But those who live in the area spin tales of much more sinister happenings still occurring inside the walls. The building has supposedly been abandoned since its doors shut in the fall of 2009. Yet the faint sounds of machinery and flickering lights, accompanied by strange shadows, can still be seen coming from the large warehouse window panes. Although no one has seen the Faust brothers in the years since DreamWorks shut its doors, local legend says Nathaniel was schizophrenic, went mad, and murdered his brother out of pure pent-up jealousy and anger. They also say out of remorse, he is still inside the factory, trying to bring Alexander back to life in the form of a life-size puppet, and practices on any unlucky intruders to the building. The factory has since earned the nickname ScreamWorks due to its haunting past. Dare you venture into the factory and find out the truth for yourself? attraction has the right to refuse admission to anyone. You will experience intense audio, lighting, extremely low visibility, sense strobe light, fog, damp or wet conditions, moving floors, special effects, and sudden actions in an overall physically demanding environment. You should not enter this attraction if you have asthma, heart conditions, or are prone to seizures, have physical ailments, have any type of respiratory problems, or are pregnant or suffer from a mental disease including but not limited to claustrophobia. Do not enter the attraction if you are intoxicated, wearing any form of cast, medical brace, crutches, or have any types of physical limitations. Do not enter the attraction if you're taking medication or drugs of any type. You will not be admitted if any of these conditions are noticeable by our staff. Do not smoke, run, eat, or drink inside the attraction. Additionally, there's no touching of actors, customers, or props inside the attraction. No video or photography of any kind may be taken inside the attraction. You will not be admitted or ejected from the property if any of the rules are not followed. Some scenes may be far too intense or gruesome for young children or those with queasy stomachs. There are no refunds. Enter at your own risk.